Alright, so what I'm going to do now is I'm looking at the eel, I'm going to cross the eel, and then I'm going to head up. Over there is Low Gap Creek. Now in the winter, all this what I'm walking on would be underwater, but we're here in late summer of the third year of drought, so not a ton of water. Anyway, okay, what I'm going to do is just hike right up this creek. Right away, it's lovely in here. So here, that ways up towards the Graham's property to the stone house. And that's what it looks like coming back out to the river. So we're in this little grotto is what it feels like. And you'll see there's a decent sized redwood right there. But as we get in a little while, you'll see there's actually a couple of giants. Here's a thing that I've always thought is just really beautiful. It's the way this log has just been carved by the water. Now this is the view up here. I have to say I'm a little surprised. I'm used to this being really lush, and I didn't process in my mind that the fire was an impact down here on this creek, where it clearly has, because this whole side is burned. All the way burned. Right when I'm standing, I get a strong smell of like burnt, fire, like a fire, but also it smells like dead things. There's definitely animals that have died and are decomposing. I can definitely smell that. I can't see, I haven't seen any evidence of it, but it's all mixed in and it smells funky. So this a little bit breaks my heart, I gotta say, because I remember, I was up here not very recently, not very long ago, and this was this just beautiful, natural looking tumble of wood and things that, you thought maybe there was some residual impact from logging that had created it, but it had been so, because this is a check dam, this piece right here, you can see there. So it was like jammed up from human intervention, but it had sort of acquired this incredible overlay of natural disorder. It was beautiful. But now it's been completely disturbed to fight this fire, and it'll take a long time before it returns to that beautiful state. And I guess I'm just grasping now, like, okay, our property was saved, but this super beautiful creek was not exactly saved. So this area, I can't remember what we named it. It had some crazy name, because it was like it was all very densely overgrown, like lots of the sides where it's all been cut down. It was all thick with a thicket, and here there were these funny shaped, funny kind of, I guess they're sedges that you could almost stand on the top of as you kind of walk through this tunnel of thicket, which is now completely gone. So that's a bit shocking. Here we go. Here we have spotted real fire, live fire. There it is, burning. Look at this, live fire. There you go. My guess is that's not something to worry about, and I'd say it's in a pile of rocks. It's going to go away. It's going to burn up. But that just kind of gives you an example of what the state is right here. Okay, so this is entirely new since last time I was here in July. So this big ass tree fell as a result of fire. We'll go expect. I haven't looked up there. I'll go look, but I think I can see right now that it was clearly a compromised tree. Looks like it burned out, and looks like the fire. That was the end of it. That did it. Unless the firemen knocked it down. I don't know, but this is a trip. This is like sort of like walking through the forest and coming across like a dead dinosaur. So I'm totally reconstructing. I don't have any evidence or information from anybody, but I really think what happened here is that this tree was already compromised. It had been burned out badly once a long time ago, and then the fire got in it and kind of made a chimney of it and weakened it, and it fell, burned out the roots. Like, it definitely looks broken off right up there, and I think that's what happened, is it just got where the bottom could not support the weight of the burned out bottom that couldn't support the weight of the healthy top. Now we're in the part of the walk where it's kind of like the gateway into the little fragment of like completely virgin forest, unlogged forest, which now doesn't exist anymore, I don't think. I mean, it's not logged, but I think we're going to see that there's probably big human impacts. It's starting to have that look if you've ever been in any old growth where it's like, oh, okay, everything is just getting a little bigger. I just turned around backwards from where I was and just looking back at that tree, and it's just, that's a big tree, that's an old tree. And, I mean, if I was standing over there, I wouldn't be as tall as that dark spot just above the creek that's like a little undercut. So here we are coming into the, low gap Avenue of the Giants, such as it is, and we see, okay, seeing some big trees, and then also now big fire impact. And so, it has this kind of open cathedral feeling that old growth forest has, and now it's just been sort of enhanced because everything has been cut down or burned to even make it more open and cathedral-like. Here we are, right up in that fairy ring. So there's the outer part, and then here's the bases that all, or whatever, I don't know quite if it's a fairy ring or whatever, but I think all these trees are clones coming off this central massive root structure here. And they go up for a long way. I talked for a while to the guy who was watering the road, and he explained to me something I hadn't grasped. Was like, what we're looking at here is backfire, which is, in other words, fire that was intentionally set. And so its impacts are pretty mild, intentionally, to the big trees in the forest. But what he told me was back in the center, in the wilderness area, the fire was much more intense, and that all these big trees, many big trees, were killed or were burned out completely. So really hard to get in there. I don't know if I'll ever get in there to see, but it'd be interesting. Okay. Here we are. This is as far up as I've ever gone. I don't know what goes on after this, but it's getting very narrow walls, very narrow little arroyo almost, and we're out of evidence of the fire again. I don't even hardly smell it here. Anyway, as far as we're going today. So I'm done with my my hike. I'm about to head back out to the eel. You can see it, the opening behind me, and it's definitely been an interesting experience hiking up this creek. It was not what I expected. I had in my mind the picture of what it looked like before the fire, and I didn't realize how impacted it would be.